Shell, where police now patrol the parking lot with dogs. It's actually security guards that patrol the parking lots. But that pushed the day laborers to the edge of the property there. Police say there have been complaints about the laborers getting a little bit aggressive with customers when offering to load up their cars. Here's Eyewitness News reporter Marcus Solis.
Está usted arrestado por trespassing.
It was his arrest last month for allegedly trespassing that sparked protests in New Rochelle. Day laborers and community activists angry over stepped-up security at Home Depot that they say borders on harassment and intimidation.
The security guard with the dogs has been very aggressive towards the day laborers.
Ah, yes, the dogs. Last month, Eyewitness News showed you security guards patrolling parking lots with dogs at a Home Depot in the Bronx. The crackdown there and in New Rochelle started after customers complained of migrants aggressively offering to load up vehicles in exchange for tips.
United we stand! United we stand!
But day laborers in New Rochelle say they're being penalized for the behavior of some recent asylum seekers. They've been forced off the property, hurting their chances of being hired, though they say they've lived and worked in the community for years.
They're not doing anything but working. That's what they're looking for, work.
They arrested a couple of these guys. These guys are not bad people. They're not.
Today's protest taking place under the watchful eyes of management, the chain offering a generic statement. Like many businesses in the community, we have a long-standing non-solicitation policy at our stores.
The solution, organizers say, is to create a permanent work center where contractors and day laborers can coordinate. Until that happens, the standoff in the streets continues. In New Rochelle, Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
And joining us now, Argentina in the house, Dario Navarrete from the United Community Center of Westchester, to shed more light on the situation in the county there involving the day laborers. Welcome. Before we get into the details, tell me about the United Community Center of Westchester. Your organization's mission is?
Well, it's been there for over 20 years. We help out with the community,
right.
Domestic violence victims, regular violence, people that need help or company or any kinds of services.
So something like this falls
absolutely
right in line with what you guys are doing. You heard Marcus there at the end, a permanent work center where contractors and day laborers can coordinate. Has there been a move to make that happen?
So we've had successful meetings with the city of New Rochelle as well as Home Depot, and it looks like we are having some movement where we will have some type of direction where we give these day laborers ability to register with us.
Okay.
To be identified and to give them proper guidance to being able to seek work.
How will that benefit the parties involved here?
Well, benefit us because we will be better handled, giving them more direction. The contractors, because they'll be protected more, find out who they're hiring, and the actual day laborers themselves to know what their legal rights are and the legality and what they're responsible for.
Okay. So it's not the responsibility of Home Depot to create this center, right?
No.
You would agree? Yes.
No.
And I want to be careful that we don't throw Home Depot under the bus here, right?
Correct.
And because they're trying to protect what? Their customers.
Correct.
So they're bringing in security. But there were some complaints of a little bit aggressive men, if you will, trying to help out and asking for tips in return?
Right, so those were the complaints. I don't know much about it. I wasn't quite there, but police did do their job and try and be the middle people to correct that.
Right. If that center isn't created, is the parking lot at Home Depot the right place to gather?
Well, we are exploring other options, but that is the ideal place where we want this to be the satellite spot for day laborers.
A center?
Correct.
Not the parking lot?
No.
Yes, yeah, I think everybody would agree with that. How much business do you think the day laborers are losing, if you want to call it that, by gathering on the street next to the parking lot and not in the parking lot? Because I'm trying to get it from Home Depot's perspective, put it in their shoes. You can't be here. You could take it somewhere else. Are the guys really losing out the way it was claimed in that news conference?
Well, I don't have the stats in front of me to confirm either way, which way it works, but we do have day laborers who have been doing it for many years.
Right.
So they already have their own rhythm, their own clients, their own contractors. It's the new ones that are coming along that are trying to either jump the line for those more senior day laborers and the new ones, and they're the ones causing most of the conflict, not the previous ones.
And put yourself in Home Depot's shoes. There's no way for them to tell, right, by looking at someone whether they are a registered or as close as you can day laborer versus an asylum seeker that arrived a week ago, correct?
Right, correct. And that's why we're getting involved now to help us facilitate those goals, both for Home Depot and the city of New Rochelle, as well as the members that want to seek work.
All right, glad to see that happening, because there's organizations in Westchester that already kind of do that. So I'll talk to you about those in a second when we come back more on the controversy surrounding a crackdown on day laborers at a number of Home Depots in New York. And then still ahead on Tiempo, this is big, insurance fraud. It is a costly and and damaging crime in the United States and really across the country. 40% of Latinos are victims. That's according to the New York Alliance Against Insurance Fraud. We'll talk to a leader from the Alliance to learn how you can protect yourself when we come back. Welcome back to Tiempo. A controversy surrounding a crackdown on day laborers at a number of Home Depot stores in New York. One of those stores is in New Rochelle, Westchester County, where private security now patrols the parking lot with dogs there. Now, that move pushed the day laborers to the edge of the property. Police say they have received some complaints about the men getting aggressive with customers when offering to load up their vehicles in exchange for tips. Shedding light on the issue for us, Dario Navarrete, he is with the United Community Center of Westchester, and that organization is actively working with the city government in New Rochelle to try and find a center, yes, in terms of creating a location for both the contractors and the day laborers, to meet, come together, and that way everyone can be protected and go their separate ways.
Correct.
Yes?
Correct.
How far along are you in that process? I mean, what needs to happen to make it a reality?
So we're in the beginning stages of it, but it's always the funding part of it, the location part of it, and the personnel.
Okay.
It looks like we're getting there. We definitely have some type of plan put in place, but hasn't been approved yet.
Who needs to approve it?
It'll be a combination of both the city, us, and possibly Home Depot.
Okay.
Possibly.
What are the hurdles that you need to overcome?
Funding,
Yeah.
personnel, and support.
Mm-hmm. Are there other organizations, Dario? I'm thinking of Neighbors Link in Mount Kisco. I think there's a day laborer center in Yonkers that you can pick their brains, cherry pick ideas from them in terms of, because it seems like they're a little bit ahead of the game in terms of where you are regarding what would work and what wouldn't work.
Right. So we've done that. We've done our fair share of research, what would work and what wouldn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this has been going on for over 20, 30 years. So we've had our own personal experiences of what has worked and what has not worked.
Right.
We have day laborers that have been coming to the New Rochelle site for almost 10, 15 years.
Okay.
It's always the new ones that kind of like complicate things.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, so what has changed recently that has complicated things?
Well, the newcomers that come along, they're not familiar with the local laws, they're not familiar with how things are done, and there's a conflict between senior and more newer members of the day labor organization,
right,
where they don't like to be told what to do, so they kind of flow on their own, and it does cause a conflict between all the parties involved.
Yes. Have you talked to some of the day laborers? I mean, are they just as frustrated as Home Depot and the community as well?
Yes, they are, as well as the contractors.
Because the new arrivals are messing up a system that seemingly was working before all of this happened.
Correct.
Yes?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you in the process, or can you educate the new arrivals as well to say, listen, there's a system in place that you can be a part of. You can benefit, and you can get the employment and the money that you're seeking, but in a way that's organized.
Correct, and that's what we are doing. We are verbally explaining to them that there's in the works. For now, respect what right now the city of New Rochelle, Home Depot, and the police department all kind of agree on to let things settle until we get a more structured outline.
What's been the difficulty? Is it just the number of new arrivals? I mean, is it, I don't know how heavy it's been, but talk to me in terms of how many are coming in.
Well, I don't have the exact numbers because we're not standing there counting them all up. But I can tell you that the handful, it's not all of them, a very small percentage of the ones that come on into the site, into the area, that do cause the problem. That do cause. But they are told to stay away, and for the most part they do listen. Okay. It's gotten a little more better.
How has your communications been with Home Depot? Have they been, shall we say, accommodating in terms of acknowledging a problem, but also trying to be involved in the solution?
Yes, Home Depot, as well as the police department, doing a very good job keeping things, communication avenues open, as well as City of New Rochelle, to try to find a common goal.
But what I'd like to hear you say is Home Depot has also said, you know what? Keep us posted in terms of the solution, because we'd like to be part of it. Have they gone that far?
Yes, they have helped out. They're not automatically blocking out, saying we don't want no part of this. They haven't gotten there yet. Hopefully they won't, but they have been very well helping us out.
We got about a minute left. I'm guessing funding is a big part of what you guys do, and is always something. If somebody is watching, wants to lend a hand, not just in terms of writing a check, but in terms of perhaps there's a property, perhaps there's a location that either people can donate, or perhaps there are people that have an expertise with this, that speak Spanish fluently, can serve as a liaison.
And French as well. They don't just speak Spanish, but we also have new immigrants that speak French. So if you have anybody that wants to volunteer, wants to do help us out with that aspect for language.
How do they get a hold of you guys? I guess you got Instagram or a website?
Yeah, it'll Instagram be the best way to do it. There's a Facebook, I believe, also, but we do have a website. Our phone number is on there as well.
Okay. Call the number, reach out.
Please.
Somebody will get back to you.
Yep, please. My name is Darryl. Ask me if they want.
Un placer. Thank you, man. Appreciate it very much. Let's get this issue solved because I think it benefits everyone once the issue is taken care of. Coming up next.